So today's call is a wrap up. It is a wrap up call just for whoever shows up to this call, which it looks like it's just going to be you. Good for you.
Yeah.
You're getting the VIP treatment.
I was gonna say I'm getting VIP.
Yeah, for sure. So, you've had a lot of stuff coming your way over the last couple of weeks. I mean, this is the stuff that you've got, emailed to you. You had a little bit of background in some of this stuff, with the educational coaching that you did with that other person that you worked with. So that helped, but there's still
Yep.
so much that has come your way. And really, I just wanted to do a wrap-up call because it's important that for me that you understand the concepts of what you're doing and that you can move forward and implement these practices and these tools and these techniques and the supplements to begin to reach your goals. And you know what? I just went into the the emails and I adjusted some of the content because I was like, if you guys think that you know better and you're going to try to outthink and do your own thing, it doesn't work. Like a lot of my clients will just ignore the protein shakes. They just ignore them. And I'm like, that is the most important part of your transformation. You do realize that it's like a car. You can't operate without gasoline. You cannot operate without oil. The engine needs those two things. And our bodies will operate without the protein. They'll operate on carbs ineffectively. They'll operate on fat, but we need the protein to build a solid structure that is actually metabolically active and burning calories for us. So it's like building a fire within your body. You know what I mean? To keep you warm, to keep you moving, to keep you going. And some of my clients, they do the Figure Fit workouts and they don't have a protein shake afterwards. And I'm just like, I get to a point where I'm like, you guys, you are shooting yourself in the foot. You are not doing your body any justice by doing these workouts and not fueling what you need to be fueling with. It's like, it is a non-negotiable thing if you want to transform your body. Now, in that vein, that they can go and eat something. They don't have to have a protein shake, but they need to have protein. But here's the reason why protein shakes are the best thing after a workout is because they are easily digestible and it's liquid. So if they go and eat chicken, it's going to be slower. It's going to take a lot more time to get into their the amino acids to break down to be able to get into the muscle fibers. And the chicken doesn't have all of the amino acids to form new muscles. And so it's like, this is science. Do what works. You're here to master the body and the nutrition. So the macronutrients, the protein is just hands down the number one macronutrient to get into your body to really make it work for you. I can't stress that enough. And for people who have never had it work for them, they don't get it. But I get it because when I started to really, really get diligent and focused on having my meal replacement shake before, about an hour and a half before my workouts and within 30 minutes after, that is when my body transformed. That's when I got muscle. And that is when I actually started to really transform. And what that looked like is I went from being a body fat percentage of around, 22 to, and my muscle it wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't bad. It was just like, I was always struggling with that last 10 pounds, right? That last, like you got your bone, you've got your water in your body, you've got a certain amount of muscle, and you got a certain amount of fat. Well, I was always having that certain amount of fat. And it wasn't until I just said, okay, well, I'm doing these workouts anyways. I might as well do what I've heard works. And once I started to do that, every single time I did a workout, after about, I don't even know how long it was because I don't remember, but I remember afterwards going, holy smokes, that's no joke. That's what works. because the moment you build your muscles become metabolically active. And that is everything. That is what, when you're just sitting and resting, when you're just sitting and working, you've got muscle that's working for you. It's burning calories. So maybe you did eat an extra amount of carbs last night. Well, guess what? When you have muscle, it doesn't matter as much as when you don't have the muscle, because that muscle is burning calories. It's like an incinerator, and it is working for you to convert all of that nutrients, the fat and the carbs, to fuel, because your muscles are hungry and they're metabolically active. And that's exactly what it means, metabolically active. So the moment you start getting muscle is when your body all together, head to toe, will begin changing. It's because the muscle works for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huge rant, but so important. And it's one of the things that a lot of people they don't get. And I have clients and I'm like, I want to shake you. Would you just do the shakes? Because you're putting all this work in and you're still fat and you're
Right.
just not doing it right. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you just make these little switches, these little changes, and do what works, you're going to see a huge transformation. You know, like everything we talked about in this is when to have the alcohol, when to not have the alcohol, when to have the carbs, when to not have the carbs, when to have the protein, when to not have the protein. It's all been here, and all of that matters. The timing matters. So that is one of the things. It's like, just do what works.
Right. Just listen to me, please. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not doing this for my own benefit. I'm trying to tell you this is what works. So really, I just wanted to kick it off with that and just go from here and answer any questions that you might have that are kind of lingering, and just dive in.
Yeah. I guess easy stuff first. So the last email that came through, the first two videos don't seem to be working.
Oh, okay.
And it's the supplement stack and the detailed description on how to use the shakes and the ketones.
Okay.
The last one, the ketone video is working, but the other two aren't.
Okay. I actually I deleted them, I think, so maybe that's why. Duh. That would work.
Potentially, yeah.
I merged them into one video, so I'll resend that out.
Okay. And then I have all the supplements that you recommended. Are you still there? At least.
I don't see you anymore.
It dropped off. Oh, there it goes. There, it's working. Can you see me again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I have everything. Next question is, I have everything. I guess I just need to kind of go through and make sure I know when to take everything.
Okay. So you mean you bought all the supplements? You bought all the stuff?
Mm-hmm. I have everything but the ketones. It's the only thing I haven't purchased yet.
Okay. Okay.
But everything else in the document that you sent over, everything from the magnesium to the vitamin C to the vitamin D3, the charcoal, the salt. I've done 2 days of not the extreme fasting, but the spiritual warrior fast.
Mm-hmm.
I did that twice. Not terrible. I'm a little tired in the morning. I'm a little tired into the afternoon. That's when I kind of I can feel my energy starting to kind of taper off, when I can have a second coffee, or that's when I can do the shake.
Okay. What did you used to have?
So I think, what do you mean?
Before that, did you have like food in the morning?
Yeah, I started a while back. I always eat some sort of breakfast, not eating. It's usually either like a small omelet with veggies, or, nothing crazy though.
Okay.
maybe a 2 or 3 egg omelet or egg white omelet, depending on the day.
Yeah, and it could be the type of MCT oil you got. I'm not sure. Are you using MCT oil or coconut oil?
Actually, I haven't tried that yet.
Oh,
I
so
just
what are
got
you
the
doing?
oil. So I just did the fatty coffee with we did the ghee.
Okay.
It was, yeah.
And what
And it
else?
had the cacao powder. What else was that?
Are you
That's
are you
everything, right?
using MCT oil or no?
I haven't yet. No, haven't
Okay, well,
started.
you don't want to do it unless you do all the ingredients because it's the combination of what it is what's in it that
Okay.
works for you.
Yeah.
Because MCT is what's going to activate your fat burning and start releasing natural ketones in your body. And that's what's going to give you the energy. It's the MCT oil.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can't leave out a
Got
part.
it. Got it.
So yeah, I would say try the full recipe. And actually, you know what? In the beginning, leave out the cacao because I want that might stall the fat burning. So like once you get to a place where you feel a little bit more like you're at your weight, like or just try it every now and then. It adds magnesium, it adds iron. It's really good. It adds an element of like I said before, like kind of like uh, tapping into consciousness. It wakes up your brain a little bit more. So
Okay.
try it every now and then, but don't do it in every time you have the coffee. But make sure you
Got
are
it.
having either coconut oil or MCT oil and either ghee or butter, uh, grass-fed butter. So you do need both.
Got it. Yep. Got them. I mean, I'm down 10 pounds so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So I think with the energy, just try it with the MCT oil. That you'll notice a significant difference, and you're going to get to a place where you're like, I'm not even hungry. You're going to have to force yourself to eat.
Okay.
I quit. I quit my fatty coffee, and
Yeah.
I'm starving at like 9:30 a.m. And I'm like, this sucks because I'm so used to doing like the spiritual warrior fast and not eating until like 2 o'clock. So I'm just cranking out work in the morning and I'm getting these hunger pains at like 9:30. And I'm like, oh no, this is not going to work for me. So I actually I took it in stride. I was like, you know what? This is okay. This is called life. This is called balance, and let me just work with it. So um, I have eaten breakfast like more than I'm used to in the last couple years, and I'm very diligent because this is a change for my body. I'm being very diligent about tracking my macros because for me, what I've noticed is that if I eat earlier, I'm still going to go to bed around the same time. So my window of eating is bigger, and
Right.
could that could add more macronutrients to my overall plan. So what I've been really diligent about is really tracking my personal macronutrients of what I'm allowed, and sticking to it because I can't stress how much that fatty coffee is going to just diminish your hunger and you're just not going to be hungry. It's quite
Right.
incredible, so we just have to be cognizant of what's happening, how we're feeling, and how much food we are eating, and being really, really smart. For the first couple of days when I was doing this, I was just like, oh man, kind of eating whatever. I'm like, well, I'll just track. And then I was having carbs early. And then I thought, oh, that's not good. I just want to be super careful because I know this is the stuff I know. And so it's really easy to fall off of track, um, knowing that carbs are going to spike you and then drop you. So having, like when you talked about early, having an omelet in the morning gave you a lot of energy. It's true. It will, because it's not giving you that glucose surge. And that's what makes your energy go up and down. So not having coffee for me was like crazy. And then adding carbs in the morning, I was like, yesterday I had a total like tired dump in the afternoon. Like I just was like laid out in my bed. I was like, oh, what's going on with me? And I was like, it's a carb dump.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, you said that you need to know when to take what? The spiritual warrior manual. fast manual has a sample day for both the extreme fat loss protocol and then the spiritual warrior fast. So that will detail out when to have what. But I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Actually, well, I went through it. It listed some of the supplements, but it didn't list all of them. And I guess that's where let me pull it up.
I'm going to pull it up here.
No, you're right. It's right there.
It's right there, honey.
Yeah. I missed it. I looked at yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. I just got to reread it. Okay.
Yeah, and I would say
just
print those pages, you know?
Yeah.
Let me see, where is that? Okay, yeah, like Figure Fit, Spiritual Warrior, Fast Protocol. Evenings. I'm going to hold on 1 second. Let's just go through it. Let me share my screen. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so the night before you're going to do this. Finish dinner, no snacking. Take your Calm magnesium supplement about an hour before bed. That's the best time to take it. That should help. And I think your wife had some problems with like digestive stuff. She should take this too. Everybody needs to take this. If you have questions about who needs to take it, just look up magnesium deficiencies and you'll go, oh, me. That's me. So anybody who's alive usually needs magnesium, especially anybody who's working out. Excuse me. And then the next morning, usually that's going to help people go to the bathroom, number 2, especially if they've had any sort of constipation issues in the past. And if you have too much, it'll make you have diarrhea. So, and sometimes it'll happen right away for people if they're just not used to it. So that's why it's best to take it before you go to bed. Just let it get into your body. And in the morning, you wake up, go to the bathroom. When you wake up, you can do deep breathing exercises, meditation. I always recommend doing that type of stuff right upon awakening, so you can really tap into your spirit. I like visualizing. I give my clients a visualization that these are some of the things that I'm really creating for another program that I have, of like a miracle morning, how to have a really powerful morning, and really how to set yourself up for designing your life rather than just living your life. How do you design it and be a conscious creator and create the life you want? These morning techniques are some of the best ways that you can do that. Get out of bed, have water. So in bed, wake up and just breathe. Just start waking up your body. Notice the thoughts that come in. Start creating positive thoughts. Have a goal to be like a happy person, a joyful person, and to have a positive mindset. That's going to set you up to win in every area of your life. Get out of bed, go have a big, huge thing of water. And you can work out. You can do the coffee. You can get your body moving. And then have the Figure Fit coffee. And then just go work, go do your thing. I call it a one thing. These power projects, like things that will move you forward. And for me personally, so here's an example. You've got your work, but maybe you've got a dream, or you want to write a book, or you want to just do something else. Give yourself 1 hour in the morning to pour into you and this dream project that you have for your life. And this is I call it like a miracle morning. It's a way for you to really set your life up in a way that you want it to go. And when you visualize that and then you take action, sometimes those actions are uncomfortable. Like I talked about in that group live coaching call last night, some of the times those actions are uncomfortable. Yeah. And you got to get uncomfortable to really step into the vision that you see for your future self. Got to get uncomfortable. You got to do things you're not used to doing. And sometimes in the beginning, that's just working out. And like for me, back in the day, it was write the book. Sit your butt down and write some words on a page, you know, so you can get your book done. And now it's creating e-courses like this or writing manuals like this. It's like, Liz, sit your butt down, do the work before your day, do your work before the day and everybody else's agenda creeps into your world and says, okay, now pay attention to me, you know, and then get on with your work, do what kind of work you need to do, break your fast, try to go as long as you can, maybe about until 1 o'clock, maybe 2, maybe 3, just go as long as you can. And I would say break it at latest, maybe like 2 or 3, and just kind of keep your food within that window. And then if you're going to work out, so let's say you work out at 5:30, you know, after work, if you break your fast at 2, you can break your fast with a number of different things, but try not to break. If you're going to break it with a meal, just don't make it a heavy carb meal. That's going to send a glucose dump and you're going to be tired. So you could have some carbohydrates. I would recommend maybe a salad and some good protein and some good fat. Or you could do protein and fat only and no carbs. Then you're going to have a shake is what I would recommend before your workout. So that meal, you can have a meal or you can have a shake. I do meal replacement shakes about an hour and a half before my workout, sometimes just an hour. And that meal replacement shake gives me all of the macronutrients. It's not very heavy on the fat. It's balanced in the carbs and the protein. And this is not a protein only shake. It's a meal replacement shake. So it's got the carbs and the carbs and the protein and a little bit of fat. So all 3 of those macronutrients together get into your system. And when you do the workout, your body uses all 3 of those macronutrients for energy and also to build new muscles. Okay. Then immediately after your workout, that's when you have another meal replacement shake. And not protein only. That's where people go wrong, because your muscle tissues, they also need carbohydrates to build. You can't just have carbs. You need to have protein and carbs after your workout and minimal fat. The meal replacement shakes that I take, the isogenics, they have about 6 to 8 grams of fat in it, and that's okay. It's minimal. And those are what I have within 30 minutes of my workout. I just have them right away. And sometimes I make them for my clients as well.
So you do meal replacement before and after?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
When do you do just protein, or do you do just protein?
So sometimes I'll do just protein at 2 when I break my fast, and I'll use ketones. Okay. And then my meal before will be an actual meal. So then sometimes before my workout, instead of a shake, it will be an actual meal with all of the macronutrients. So you can do one or the other.
Got it.
But then afterwards, have a meal replacement shake. And then usually after your workout, after the workout and after that shake, you're going to have a meal. You're going to have dinner. And that dinner can really just have anything. It can have carbs. Obviously every meal needs to have protein, but it can have carbs and it can have fat. But it depends on where you are in your macronutrients for your day. And that's where you tweak it. In those evening meals, based on what you had earlier in the day, you just got to watch it and tweak it in those nighttime meals. So sometimes I'll have a really heavy fatty morning. I'll break my fast with protein and ketones, and maybe that meal that I had was huge and it was like carb heavy, or maybe it was just fat heavy. Maybe I have bacon, I don't know, I do that sometimes. And so in my morning, I tapped out all my fat, right? So just track your macros. And in those nighttime meals, you just balance it out. If you already had all your fat for the day, then in those nighttime meals, that's when you're going to have your carbs and the protein. If you had more carbs early, then in the nighttime meals, you're going to have the fat and the protein. I would rather have it be switched, though. I would rather have it be not carbs heavy in the day. You can do carbs at night. And a lot of people are like, what? No, it's okay. Because you need them all during the day. You need them all. So here's
Okay.
why. Here's why I would rather have them switched, because you did your workout, you worked your muscles. Your muscles need carbs and protein to build. So if you did a good workout, having the carbs at nighttime is not a big deal. Does that make sense? It's helpful.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'm running into is, and obviously I haven't really layered in a ton of working out yet, just still waiting to get cleared. But so after I have a meal replacement shake, I'm really not hungry for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that happens. I know.
So, but I do know that once I start working out again, I feel like I'll get some of my appetite back. Because I mean, between just honestly just walking and playing and, you know, doing this stuff with the baby is really all my activity currently.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the doc to say I can go back to the gym.
Yeah, you know what? Start doing this, Landon. Start doing some like walking lunges, because that will work the muscles in your legs and your core.
Okay.
And your glutes. And your glutes and your legs are the largest muscle group in your body. If you just start working those and doing some body weight lunges, that's perfect. That's going to work your glutes,
Okay.
your quads, your hamstrings, your abs. All right. And I know you've got wrist issues, so you can't really do push-ups or things like that. If you could do bicep curls, great. If you can do shoulder presses, great. I would wait to do push-ups, you know. So, but just
I
doing
can't do
any
push-ups yet.
sort of body weight movement will be good for you.
Okay.
Even just doing crunches, you know. I mean, walking lunges will be phenomenal because they're going to work some major muscle groups in your body and fire up those muscles. And by doing that, you're going to be getting a strength training workout because you're using your own body as the weight.
Okay. And then the only other thing I guess I'm currently running into is maybe I'm just not eating enough. Like I'm protein focused every meal. And like from a percentage standpoint, my macros are good, but I seem to be falling into like 1,500, 1,600 calories a day. And I don't feel like I'm starving or I'm, you know, super hungry. But again, maybe it's just I'm not working out enough to go with it.
Hang on one second, please. Oh, I've got to end this call in 10 minutes. So if you aren't working out, that's going to be a big thing here because it's that working out gives you energy, you know? So I would say it's okay right now if you're a little low on the calories, but you always want to try to stay above your basal metabolic rate.
Right.
So what you need base every day just to survive, you want to stay above that, especially if you're adding any activity. If you're sitting all day and you're working quite a bit, then you don't need to add a lot. But if you go and just think of like, let's say you're sitting all day and you're working a lot and it's like you're not working out. Well, okay, that's fine. Stay close to your basal metabolic rate. But if you're going to add activity, for every activity that you add, you need to add a little bit of carbohydrates. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And peanut.
So yeah, here are the sample days. And then for the spiritual warrior fast, which is right there, I would just recommend printing that out. That's page 7. And then the supplements, taking the Himalayan sea salt when you drink your water, the activated charcoal you take in between. You don't take that around any sort of nutrients that you are taking. You could take that right away in the morning, first thing, because you don't have anything in your body yet. And that's going to bind to the toxins and then start to help you release the toxins. D3, I would take that at night or when you have a meal. Same with the vitamin C, and then the calm you take at night. When you eat, you can have the krill oil. You can eat sardines. You can make one of those salads. That can be one of the things you break your fast with. So these are either or. Either eat the kale salad or take the vitamins with your food.
What about days I'm not fasting with the supplements? Does that change anything? Just stick with the same times?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Days you're not fasting, you're still keeping your macros the same. You know, you're still
Okay.
staying within you're still staying within your macros. You're just maybe, I don't know, maybe having food earlier, but the principles still remain the same. Like, you're not going to take the activated charcoal when you're having any sort of nutrients. You want to take them on an empty stomach when you're not having any vitamins and minerals. And you want to have the vitamins that require, you know, food to intake into your body, into your bloodstream. Some don't and some do. So most of the time the bottle will say when you need to take it, and if you should take it with food. So the same thing really applies, like even on your non-fasting days, you're still wanting the shakes. You're still going to want to have the either a meal or a meal replacement shake, and you're still probably going to be taking protein. So whether you're fasting or not, the principles still remain the same.
Got it.
But these are just like, when you are fasting, these supplements are just going to help you. Like the glutamine, the branched chain amino acid, the glutathione, those really help your body to process fat for fuel, to give you energy. And so those are really important to remember, that the glutamine is going to help give you energy. You know, so if you're running low on energy, try that. Give that supplement a try and keep fasting, but just really look at this manual. And, you know, this says, okay, it says right here, if you're feeling tired or weak, take up to 10 to 20 grams of L-glutamine. Okay.
Got it.
So yeah, it says it here. I know like the manual can be kind of confusing. That's why I wanted to run through it. Like, take those shakes or take these, because the shakes have the branched chain amino acids in them, and they also have L-glutamine in them. So you don't need to buy separate glutamine if you're taking the shakes. But glutamine actually is one of those things that's really good. It's good for your gut, and it's really good for energy. So if you are fasting, it doesn't hurt to have it, especially if you're running low on energy. It's a gut healer, so your wife might want to take that. And then the extreme fat loss protocol, I know you're saying you weren't really going to do that right now. And so this one, same thing. It has a way to prepare the body, and I would do the spiritual warrior fast for 2 weeks. Since you're not actually on the Figure Fit program, you don't have access to the website, so you don't actually see the Figure Fit diet, like that manual. But if you have my book, the food list is in the back of my book, and that's what the Figure Fit diet is. On my website, I have like meal planning guides, and I also give the members recipes as well, in addition to the actual program that they get, which is the Figure Fit workouts, yoga videos, and meditations.
Yeah, when I do sign up for that, can I start that anytime?
Yeah, and the workouts are month by month, so there's always new workouts the start of every month, and that's the members love. They're like, "Whoa, I can't wait to see what's next." So
Gotta keep them motivated.
I know. Well, and it's fun to change them up, and sometimes the workouts are like 3 rounds, sometimes they're 4 rounds, and sometimes they're shorter, but they're 5 rounds. And those are really, that's me personal training you. And that's me, if you were to come into the gym, like every 6 weeks, I'm going to tweak the workouts I'm giving you. And that's exactly what I'm doing with these online workouts. And so you just watch the videos, you see how to do it, and then you just go do it. And this is why we need each other, because sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want to do another round, but you have to just, you know, reach out to your tribe and go, hey, help me. I need support. I know I need to do this, you know, like give me a kick in the butt. I need it.
Yeah.
And once you get to that place where you see results, you're going to get so addicted to these workouts. You're just going to love them, because you're going to be like, oh my God, these work.
I agree.
Yeah. So, and here's the Figure Fit Fatty Coffee right there, that recipe again. And then I'm going to move down really quickly right here. These are all the supplements for the extreme fat loss protocol. And there's so many more. because you're not eating. You're just you're fasting all the time. So you've got to take supplements if you're doing this one, and you just need to take them at the right time. You know, you can take and it tells you here when to take it right here. Sample day. Wake up, meditate, visualize, have your water, drink the Figure Fit coffee, and have all these things. And then at 10, have the charcoal, like you've given yourself 3 hours for those vitamins to get into your body. And then you take the activated charcoal when your body starts processing the fat. You know what I mean? So it's all right here. You know, I would just say, like, pick one. Let me know if you have any questions, but pick one, read through the sample day, get really crystal clear. You know, for me, when I do stuff like this, I have to print it out. It has to be in my face in a couple places. Like, I need to read through it a couple times so I can really wrap my brain around what I'm doing, and I can look ahead and go, okay, at 10, I'm gonna have this, or at noon, I'm gonna have this. Because when I prepare and I really know what I'm getting into, that's everything. It's, you know, it's called setting behavioral objectives. You know what you're about to get into, and then your brain helps you because it's on the lookout for what you're about to do. It's when you kind of go into things blindly where we don't succeed, because you know, when you get to a place where you're famished, you're like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm just going to go eat something, and then you throw the whole thing off. But when you really prepare yourself and you know what you're getting into, and you can read this, and it's like, oh, hey, at this time, Liz told me, you know, at 10 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, I might need the L-glutamine and the Himalayan sea salt because I might be low in energy. So that's when you have that with a big old glass of water. And that's going to buy you some time. Okay.
And then are the ketones listed in here as well?
I don't know if they are. I don't think so. No, not in this manual.
Okay.
So the ketones.
I haven't bought them. I haven't bought any yet, but obviously it sounds like something.
You can. You can do them. You can try them, and some people look at them as kind of like a magic pill. They're not. They're not at all. They're not.